Good afternoon, crafting friends. This is Cheryl Ann with part 2 of my tutorial about gathering materials for your journals and where to find materials. So I'm really fortunate that here in our town we have both a Dollar Tree and we have two 99-cent stores. So the next thing I did was I went over there to see what kind of things they carried, and I found these gorgeous bags. I have used these in my own personal journal, which is in the other room, but I'll show you how I use them. They don't always have these, so when I see them, I buy them just to keep them in case I need them. They are fairly thick material, but it's also very durable. And like I said, I will show you how I use these bags in my own personal journal. Something else they have over there for $1. You get these books of the manuscript tablet paper. We used to call it, you know, cursive writing or printing paper. They're a good size. You can fold them in half and they'll fit in your journals, and those are $1. And then I started watching YouTube videos, and I realized that people were using a lot of ledger paper. I had none. So I went to Walmart, and I have a couple different kinds now. And I found some on Etsy. So again, I bought some on Etsy just to have paper, because I'm the kind of person I'm creative, but I like when I'm creative, I don't want to have to stop and do anything. I want to just put my journal together. Then I had a lot of these legal pads, for teaching. I used to use them for everything. And you can buy these. I got these at Walmart, and they're not real expensive. Like I said, here's another column pad. Sometimes you find these in thrift stores. So that's another one. Graph paper. I love to put graph paper in my journals. Now I like to coffee dye it or spray it and put it in. And another thing, now, me being a former teacher, when July comes along, Target and Walmart have their composition books on sale. And these are sewn in. The pages are sewn in, and if you find the middle of the book and you just lift out the pages, I think I got those when they were 50 cents each. Here's the, put that down, of course. Here's the papers you get. So you can see here, you can see where they stitched in the pages, but if you just lift these right out, you kind of just cut the little threads that hold them together. And these I did coffee dye, but these are a good size. You can always trim them, and if you fold them here on the red line, or if you fold them here in the middle, they're a wonderful size for your journals. Getting ahead of myself. I bought these when they were on sale at Target last summer. They were 50 cents each, but you can normally find these at Dollar Tree. They're $1. So these are the composition books. And this is 100 sheets, and it's 9 3/4 by 7.5. So it is a little wide, but you can trim them. Something else you might want to get for your journals. This is what I use for my art journals, and it's just wax paper. Again, Dollar Tree, it's $1. But if you're using Mod Podge or even glue, or when I'm gluing my lace to the edges of my papers, I always put wax paper down so that your pages don't stick together. And this is another one of my baskets, and I subscribe to, what is it, Birds and something. It's a magazine. I think it's like $10 a year. And I just started collecting pictures. Here I threw in some coffee dyed paper. These I put out in the sun. here's the ledger paper. See, when it's coffee dyed, it gives it a really nice look. Here's just this is some of the white lined paper that I coffee dyed. I'm just going through a couple of these things. More coffee dyed paper. I even tried my hand. Look at this is my echo dyeing paper. I found some leaves out in our yard last summer, and I pounded them into the paper with a hammer. Apparently that's how the Native Americans got, you want to get the juice from the leaves. So, I did a few. And again, I just started collecting papers, anything, old calendars. See, these are old calendar pages, but these are they're just gorgeous. Go to thrift shops and see if they have old calendars or calendars from this year. Sometimes I get these for 49 cents each. And again, I went through magazines. I found pictures in magazines. Sometimes I'll just cut these out and put them in my journals. Two grizzly bears. So I have this whole basket full of pages from different magazines, gardening magazines, all kinds. Then I went on this real hunt for music. Like I said, music down here is pretty expensive. I paid $2 for this Chopin book at one of the thrift stores. But I do use it a lot. And then I happened upon another thrift store, and I got the entire Messiah for 50 cents. So, you don't know what you're going to find. So just always keep your eyes open. Something else that I like to use a lot of in my journals are maps. So I found this book at the library. This particular book was $1, but it has outdated maps. It's still the Soviet Union. I'm sure there's countries in Africa that no longer exist. But the pages, it's nice paper. Somewhere along the line, I found this Rand McNally Road Atlas. Now, this one I used in my own personal journal because my own personal journal is oversized. So, I did use some of these pages. But again, I think I paid either 50 cents or $1. My library, I think I've said this before in another one of my videos, but they have a full-time, well, she's not full-time. She's there 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and all the donations that people bring in, they have a separate room for those, and they sell these. This, I think I paid 25 cents. And this is a French dictionary. I'm always looking for dictionaries, foreign language ones. They just don't have that many. So I do have this one. I have another one that's French. I have a Bartlett's Quotations. I have a couple other reference books. I have tons of dictionaries. But these you can always use in your journals too. And then finally, I have my own subscription to Arizona Highways. I've always loved this magazine. You can see why. I did tear out some photos for my own personal journal, and I do use, I will tear pages out if I need to. Most of these I just love to look at. They're not that expensive. I think 2 years is, I think it's $24 a year, $24 for 2 years. But again, for a larger size book, these are nice. And then I have it's Birds and Blooms. So I have Birds and Blooms too. And then up in our local mountains, I found this songbook for, I think she only charged me 50 cents. It's just got little songs. I haven't torn anything out of it yet. But again, you know, thrift stores, Habitat for Humanity sometimes has books, but they're more expensive. I don't like to pay more than 50 cents or $1 for books. This is my own personal journal. I'm not going to do a flip through. I've already done a flip through, but I did promise you I would show you how I used those bags. And this is an oversized book. I've done a separate video on it, but I did want to show you some of the ways that I've used the papers I've talked about. Here's one of the composition book pages that I coffee dyed. Here's some wrapping paper. This is one of the Rand McNally map pages, and then I put an envelope, and then when we went to Arizona, I found some feathers, so that was a nice tuck spot. I made a pocket here. Here's one of my Arizona highways. Not one of the pretty pages, but they have kind of these advertising pages. Here's another coffee dyed one. This book has 4 signatures, and each signature is separated by a different one of the bags. So there are 4 bags in this book. Okay, so this is the end of the second signature here, and then the beginning of the third is another bag here. Here's an example of how I use the sheet music. Here's a composition book page. Here's a map with another envelope on it for storing things. Here's the back of the previous bag, and here's the last one. Again, more of the composition paper. There's some of the yellow. This is actually legal size. Here are some pages from Arizona highways. The color ones. This particular set is in the middle of my signature. See, that's where I stitched it. And then this is the last page, and on my books I always put the number. This was number 15 that I made. I made it July 31st, 2017. So I hope that helps you. This is part 2, showing you how to use some of the papers and what I used in my journals. Of course, my way is not the correct way. This is just how I do it. You know, everybody's different and everybody does things differently, but I'm just showing you what I did when I was just beginning. This was more gift wrap, so I like that. So I kept some maple leaves. This is that wrapping paper that comes in the Amazon boxes. So start hoarding and start collecting stuff. And if you have any questions, put them below and I will answer them for you. Bye-bye, and I'll see you for part 3 probably tomorrow.